I don't know how much got cut off, but I just to finish up, Kamal deserves a chance to win a championship, then go back and retire as a Saint. And then AJ Brown, maybe not this year, but I just don't think he's an Eagle long term. Like after last year, you would think him and Devontae were Eagles long term. I think he could be gone sometime in the near future, maybe in the off season. It just seems like too much friction there. And then I don't know, Brees Hall, I don't see them trading him. It seems like there's a
Uh,
lot of news about it, but I don't see them trading him. But that's just the other name that's been floated. So if there would be another running back that gets moved, possibly him. But that's about all I got on that topic.
yeah, cool. All right. Well, thank you, Lathan, for sending those in. We'll go to Colton's set of three questions. So Mikey said, will Bergman come back to the Astros next season? Alex Bergman, everybody. Uh, so I'm not a huge baseball guy. I don't really keep up with it, but I know enough. I don't know if you want to give your expertise first or if you want me to sound like an idiot first and you correct me. Um,
I
I,
don't
I
think he comes back. I don't
he
think he
had
comes back.
so didn't they give him an offer last off season to come back?
Yes, and so I didn't realize that he could opt out this soon with the Red Sox. I should have read up on his contract more. But obviously he had an opt out. He opted out. I don't think he comes back to the Astros. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like it was weird. I didn't think because Correa got traded back to the Astros at the trade deadline. I don't know. Like I didn't think they would trade for Correa, but they did. So who the hell knows? Like I don't think he
I'm
comes back. There
I'm
was a
gonna
lot
say
of
he
talk last
does.
offseason that he would go sign with the Tigers, which would make sense because he would have been more of a veteran for that young lineup. So maybe he goes and signs there because they're an up and coming team. He could be the veteran presence that they need. I don't see him coming back to Houston.
So I don't think he goes to Houston either. Like I said, if he had his chance last offseason, they offered him. He's just money chasing at this point, which, you know, back in my pretty days, I was told I looked like Alex Bregman. So if he's anything like me, he's probably a douche.
Uh,
And he's probably chasing money. He's got the hot girlfriend, probably wife now. That's how long I haven't watched baseball.
she's
Um,
hot, and she went to A&M.
and
Like,
he's the kind of guy that would like go to either like a high paying team or like a prestigious team. Like I feel like maybe like the Yankees or something like that. Um, and I know Detroit, like I said, was in the market, but uh, I feel like I was watching ESPN one day and they were talking about the Royals kind of like needing some bolstering of their batting lineup. And so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that he signs with the Kansas City Royals and becomes their new third baseman.
so that's kind of like a Tiger situation. They're young and they're good, but they need a veteran presence. So I could see that. I hope he's not a douche and goes and signs with like the Yankees or something stupid like that. Like he also is he's also a Southern boy that went to LSU, and I thought Houston fit him perfectly when he was drafted. Like I thought he might have been the one that was an Astro for a long time, like Altuve. It just seemed like that was the perfect fit. Yeah, I can't get this to load. I was going to look up more of his stuff, but he opted out after his first year in Boston. I don't know what his contract exactly was, but I don't see him going back to Houston. I don't even know if Houston would offer him a contract. I hope he's not a douche and goes to a big market team. I would actually respect it if he went to one of the smaller market teams like we're talking about and goes and be a veteran presence and leads a young team to the playoffs and hopefully to a World Series. That would be a pretty cool thing. I actually I wouldn't mind if the Cardinals signed him. I don't see it happening though, but I like him. He's a guy that I like. I just didn't like him because he played for the Astros. But if the Cardinals signed him, I would love that. I just don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, I guess yeah, that's he's one of the main free agents this offseason. I don't know who else is a free agent when the MLB offseason starts, but he'll be a big piece that a lot of teams are probably going to chase and try to sign.
Let's go ahead and move on, or else we might have our first three
Yeah, we
video
we get a little off
episode.
we get a little
Uh,
off kilter
so
here.
number five, what QB finishes the season with the most rushing yards and how many? Me and you discussed this before we hit record. So Josh Allen currently leads the league like by like 60 rushing yards. And I just don't see that anybody of the other ones catching up to him. Lamar's missed a few games and he got hurt, so he'll probably slow down. Jane Daniels is hurt, he'll probably slow down. You know, uh, Mahomes has been running the ball well, but that's just because he hasn't really had any other people to run the ball. But with Rashee Rice come back, he'll be able to throw the ball more. He won't run as much. If they get somebody like Kamara, something like that. And so I just think Josh has the lead, and he'll probably just keep it if health stays intact.
I think you said it. I think he ends up with right around 700 yards. That's kind of what he's on pace for. I think he's the leader right now. Or no, I know he's the leader right now, and I think he's going to continue to be the leader. Justin Fields is actually second, and he's only like 19 yards behind. But one, Justin Fields, is he going to be the starter all year? Because if they're that terrible, by the way, Aaron Glenn, I don't see him making it after this year in New York. He is in over his head the way it looks. That offensive possession before the half the other day in London against Denver was absolutely atrocious. Like, good God, that was absolutely bad. And then back to Justin Fields, I don't know if he's going to be the starter. He could break down more easily than Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen could rush forever and be invincible. Like some of these other guys, if they rush too much, they could break down. So I think Josh Allen is the answer here with right around 700 yards.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, so last question again from Mikey is if playoffs started this week or next, which bottom ranked team to make the playoffs has the best chance for an upset and championship run in this league? So if the playoffs started right now, there are only two teams that are in the playoffs that are 3-3. Everybody has a better record than that. So those 3-3 teams are Dean and Tidal Wave. And I believe that we have a difference in opinion of who we think would rise from those ranks of the 3-3 teams. I'm going to go with Dean. I feel, we make fun of him every single week for having this old roster, but it does have these like super studs out there like Saquon, whatever. And so, like, if there's a team that's going to make a huge run at the end for 1 year for Dean, for the one before his team actually crumbles and he's irrelevant for 20 years in this league, uh, it's him. I think that the Matt Stafford, Devontae Smith, or Devontae Adams stack, Saquon. I just think that he has enough veteran presence that they can give it one good year. So
This would be the year for Dean to do it before his guys retire and go to their nursing home or whatever they're going to do. But I'm going to take title. He was our number one preseason power ranking for a reason. His team is turning on. They're back to 500. He's putting up points. He's got a really good team. He's got bench pieces. I think between the two, he would be the one that can make the deepest run and possibly be a dark horse championship contender, which is he a dark horse championship contender because we had him at number one in the preseason power rankings. So I think that kind of speaks for itself. But Dean, I do got to give you credit. Your team is performing better than expected. And on that note, you're going to be in my bold predictions for the week as a little heads up for later. So keep listening. Don't fall asleep on us. And I'll touch more on your team later for this week. But that's all I got. And I think that's the end of fan mail, right? We better move on so we don't
yeah,
take
that's
too
that's
long.
it for fan mail. Let's go ahead and
Oh,
just
this is always when I ask you about the college games for the week. A&M at Arkansas. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with A&M.
A&M gets a 7-0 for the first time in a long time. I think it is a little bit of a scary challenge, even though they're facing Arkansas, who is 2-3. Arkansas can put up points. Hopefully, A&M's defense can slow them down. Arkansas's defense is terrible, so A&M's going to put up points. It could be a little bit of a shootout. Hopefully, A&M can outscore them. I think a big key is getting off to a fast start. I don't think you want to fall behind early there and have to play catch up because their offense could keep scoring if they get on a roll. So their quarterback is really good. Taylon Green, I think is his name, dual threat quarterback, and he's really good. Texas at Mississippi. No, sorry, that's next week. Texas at Kentucky. Texas is going to go into
Texas,
Kentucky and
Texas,
win.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Texas. They actually surprised me this past week
Arch Manning
beating
found his feet.
Oklahoma. Yeah, he looked decent. Oklahoma looked like doo doo for being ranked number 6 or 5 in the country, whatever they were. So they struggled to score. Texas defense balled out, which Texas defense is actually really good. They got playmakers all over that side of the football. So Kentucky's, I think, last in the SEC right now. Texas goes into Kentucky and gets another SEC win. I think that's all we need to say there for the college games.
Cool. Sweet. All right, well let's start breaking down week 7. Let's just get into it and how much ever time we have left, we'll just go for it. So again, starting off is my matchup, and I am facing the Vivis versus Sly Dog this week. I've got me. One because I need to keep winning to get to my 3 and 4 that I needed to do, but also Sly's got currently Tyler Algier, a backup running back, starting for him. He's got Derrick Henry on bye. He's playing like Jordan Whittington, which I actually like this week. But just kind of a bunch of backup players, which they might all hit. The one thing that does scare me is CeeDee Lamb does seem to be coming back, and so that might give him some firepower to beat me. But I just got to have faith. My team started rolling, and I luckily don't have to play Wandale because he's going to be traded off my team officially in like 2 hours because he's facing that Denver defense, which is scary. So, I gotta just go with myself.
I got you. I think there's just too many backup pieces, like you said, in Sly Dog's
We're
lineup.
sorry, we're 21 and 22, by the way. If anybody's keeping track of our,
No, we're not.
what are we?
Are we? Yeah, we are. Never mind.
Yeah,
You're right. Are we?
yes, we're 21 and 22. I beat Brock. I went 5 and 2 last week. Brock went 4 and 3 to put us back even together, but we are now 21 and 22, I think.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
right. I was thinking 20 and 21,
So
but we're 21 and 22.
so don't
We
look now.
finally
Don't look now, league
we
mates, but we're almost there.
we
We're
creeped back
almost
to almost 500 after
there.
a
All right.
miserable start. So more of our predictions are getting right. Hey, don't wave me off. We got
Yep.
plenty of time until we know. I think I got you. Not I think I do have you. There's just too many backup pieces in Schladdog's lineup this week. I don't know if CD Lamb, his first week back, if he goes for typical CD Lamb numbers, it might be a just a you know average week for him. It looks like Slick Rick didn't practice today. So who do
I
you have to
literally was
fill in
just
for
looking
him?
at that. He has a 0, so I'll go ahead and take him out.
You
I'll
got
play.
running backs you can put in
Yeah, I
though.
got running backs. It's
Woody,
fine.
Michael Carter, or I just saw one more is Charbonnet. You can play your double Seahawks.
Yeah, not worried.
I think you'll be fine. I got you. Move on.
All right. So next up would be you versus Louis. I've got Louis this week over you. Um, you make your team makes me so nervous. Kyler Murray, he might not even play. And even if he does, it's against Green Bay, a good defense. And so you're either playing him or his backup against that same defense. Chuba Hubbard, you're going to have to force him back in there. Who knows how much playing time he'll get since Rico's been going off. Devontae Smith going against that number one Minnesota receiver defense. You're also playing two Denver Broncos, which offense is just okay, I guess. And then Louis, across the field, he gets a quarterback in that Tampa Bay versus Detroit game, which should be really fun on Monday night. So I should see some fireworks from there. And he's got Monty on the other side of the ball, and then Rasheed Rice makes his season debut. So
Yeah, it ain't gonna be pretty this week. I'm going back to 4-3. Jay Louis is gonna go to 6-1. Like last week, I think Mason to beat me because I was kind of like hedging because I was hoping to win, and if I didn't, at least I got the prediction right. Well, this week I'm picking Louis to beat me, and it's not because I'm hedging. It's because this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Not in a good way for me. The only saving grace is Puka. If Puka plays, I'm in. I'm in. Like y'all ain't gonna want to see this score. Rasheed is back. Rasheed Rice is back. I gotta hope like Gino shits the bed. Jacoby Myers shits the bed. It ain't gonna
you want
matter though. Like Bijan, Like the
You,
maybe I have to play Cameron Johnson this week because if Baker goes off, like can I hope like Cameron Johnson maybe catches like two of his touchdowns or something?
yeah,
Like it ain't gonna be pretty.
no.
I'm not going any further. Jay Louis to 6-1, me not so good. And
You know,
I'm battling injuries. This could be a couple week thing here for me. So I
my
don't know.
my my
I like 4-2,
preseason
but I don't like it right now.
my preseason bold prediction was that Louis was going to start season 1 and 5 and then get Rasheed Rice back, and he was going to fight his way back to playoffs.
Yeah,
And
good call there.
he's gone 5-1 without Rasheed Rice. That's wild. I'm very anyways, yeah. Good job, Louis. You got a good team here. Looks great. And Harold Fannin with Njoku hurt, if he gets all the targets, like instead of them keep splitting the tight end targets, he'll probably catch like 15 balls this week. Just so you know.
Yeah, well, their receivers are less than ideal, so
All
it's
right.
like, yeah, just keep going. There's no more. We're still on my matchup
We
with Jay
were.
Louie. Like we should have moved on 5 minutes ago.
All
Ain't gonna
right.
be close.
We got Merch Luck versus Tidal Wave. I have Merch Luck. Um, you know, the Giants defense is actually pretty solid. So when you have that stat going against them with Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton, it's just meh. Kendrick Bourne, who get Kittle back, and so I think some of those targets come down. You're playing a backup, Michael Mayer in there. Roma Dunze against New Orleans. I feel like they can just run the ball and not do much against New Orleans, so he won't be a factor. Um, and I don't know. I just, I just kind of give the slide edge to Merch Luck over there.
This is a hard one to pick.
It is hard. It's
Really hard one to
close.
pick. This would be the matchup of the week. I gotta feel like
I feel like it'll be within 5 points for sure. Kind of like it's projected,
I
but
feel like
like I
it's
said,
gonna
I'm
be high scoring. I feel like it's gonna be high scoring and within a really close margin. Tony Pollard scares me because Tajay seems to come back and now taking some touches away. And there's just if you're not getting volume in that Titans offense, it's not good enough. Although on the other side, you got Rico Dowdle, and as explosive as the past 2 weeks have been, it's like 50-50, I think, going to be between him and Hubbard. So, which sucks on both ends because it kind of makes both of them not really good starts, as if opposed to one of them being the starter and just going off. Oh, damn. Who'd you take, Marchluck? Who'd you take?
Merch.
Gosh. Give me Marchluck.
He
I
also has
think like
Jameson Williams. I feel like Tampa Bay, like they're so good at stopping the run that they're Jameson might get his over the top touchdown this week. So that might be the deciding factor on that Monday night game.
yeah, and Jamar Chase is back to being Jamar Chase, even though I feel like it's not really from Flacco last week. I think Jamar Chase just made an excellent touchdown grab last week. And for him to be his high scoring, I think he's going to have to continue doing that. I don't think it's going to be because of great quarterback play. I think it's going to be because he's just making elite level plays because he is that good.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I think an hour ago I picked you title, but I think in this moment when it matters of what I'm saying, I think I'm going Merch Luck. I think I've changed my mind. Merch Luck for the win this week. On to the next.
Next one, we have Pigskin Princess versus Taco Bell to win. Um, we gave him so much shit earlier for his last week, but I'm actually going to take Greg to beat Pigskin Princess this week. Yes, I am. And I'll tell you why. Gibbs against that, he'll catch a lot of screens against that Tampa Bay front. They'll be rushing, so a bunch of dump offs. Jalen Warren's going to have a fantastic game tomorrow night versus Cincinnati. He has Nico Collins or Mike Evans to come and fill in on his other positions. Meanwhile, Pigskin Princess, again, Jackson Dart is facing Denver. I don't expect a good game from him. She's double dipping on the Kansas City offense, who is getting Rasheed Rice back. Those numbers are not going to be anywhere productive where they were. Her two starting running backs, ETN and Kyron Williams, they face each other, and they both have pretty dang good run defenses. So those numbers are going to be stumped as well. I just think that Greg is going to get his second win of the season here.
You actually made a pretty good argument for him, but
What I do.
give me the princess. Give me the princess. I think that I think even though Rasheed Rice comes back, I think that Xavier Worthy and Kelsey can still be productive. Like I don't think they're just going to. Yeah, Rasheed Rice is going to be their number one, but maybe even in like the first week coming back, like I think they're Xavier Worthy and Kelsey are still going to be productive against a not very good Raiders team. So I still think they're going to put up numbers, especially this week. Drake London, I think after this past week, maybe he just continues to put up great numbers. You know, the Denver's defense is good, but I think Jackson Dart just I think he's going to be all right. I still think he's going to put up fantasy numbers. I think he's going to put up fantasy numbers because of his rushing ability. Dak Prescott, that Cowboys Washington game could be really high scoring. So Dak could have a good game. I don't trust like Bryce Young at quarterback. Yeah, I give me he does have Greg does have those pieces on his bench though that he could plug in. Although like coming back off of injury, how good could Mike Evans be? Nico should be back in his lineup. He'll be put in his lineup and he'll probably have a good game. But I still got the princess. I can't go against her after putting up 3 weeks in a row over 144. And Greg has been absolutely miserable here the past couple of weeks. So I got the princess.
Hear that? All right, we'll move on to Money Muscle versus C Mike. This is the one that I actually had pegged as like the high scoring matchup. Probably a lot of it has to do with Mike has that Detroit stack against Tampa Bay, and then Zoke has Patrick Mahomes going against the Raiders, and I know that should sound like the Chiefs will like whoop up on the Raiders, but I feel like anytime the Chiefs and the Raiders play, it's always a really good game, and like both teams, it's a divisional game, and they both bring like their A game, so I think it'll actually be more of a fun game than you might think. And then it's his quarterback play. Jane Daniels versus that really crappy Dallas defense. That should be a shootout. And I actually have a bold prediction for this team later on. But give me money muscle to win over Mike.
I'm gonna take money muscle as well. On Mike's side, like Bill, yeah, he had a good week, and then this past week he wasn't. Travion Henderson still
Oh
hasn't fully taken over.
well,
Like,
if he's gonna take over, it's this week. It has to be. If he
uh,
it like Ramondre
yeah,
went
but
what
He's not going to. He's not going to. Ramondre could fumble another 2 times this week, and
I I'm saying against the
like.
lowly Titans, this would be the week. If he doesn't do this week,
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
it's over.
I agree, but I still don't think it happens. Uh, I think there's just too many. This middle part of Mike's lineup here. I'm not a big fan of starting two tight ends. It's not that they're bad tight ends. It's not that they can't put up numbers. I just don't think that is the is the ceiling play. I guess if you want to call it that. Although Kate Otten, we talked about the Buccaneers receivers earlier. Kate Otten, that might have been a Kate Otten conversation of he's the one that's going to be the beneficiary of all the Buccaneers injuries and stuff. But just the Trey Tucker, the Tucker Craft, Kate Otten, Josh Downs, that foursome right there, that scares me a little bit. On Zoke's side, I think Money Muscle, yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to go off against Dallas.
Yeah,
The
you're talking about
one,
Kate.
the one scary part. I don't know. I can't remember. Did uh, Derek Stingley, the Texans corner, did he get hurt? Was he hurt? I don't remember. But Jackson Smith and Jigba is he's a baller right now. but Derek Stingley can shut down some really good wide receivers. That would be a very interesting matchup on late Monday night. We got two Monday night games, and we got one at 9 o'clock on Monday night. So
Oof.
if if this matchup is close, Jackson Smith and Jigba against Derek Stingley late Monday night could be a great matchup to watch. And if Zoke is counting on points from him, he's gonna have a tough matchup against Derek Stingley to try to get those points.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Mahomes should light up Vegas. Like he should light up the Raiders. That's that's going to be another big week for Mahomes. Mahomes is actually the number one quarterback right now, which
Yeah.
going into this season, I don't think anybody saw that coming after the down year last year. So just between the two quarterback plays, Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes on money muscle side, I got the muscle over He might be falling to 1-6 on the year, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you said think you said I'll just touch it. You kept said we're talking about K Dot and I said my bold prediction was Mark Andrews going to the Bucks, and that's probably the only thing I don't like about it is because K Dot's one of those guys that I love that nobody else gives a shit about because he doesn't do anything, but for whatever reason I love that guy. So that's the only way I would hope that Mark Andrews doesn't come over there because I like my boy Cade. So, but yeah, money
Who has
muscle
K
over Sid.
Dot? Who has K Dot in Sunday Fun Day? Is it Zoe? Because I feel like Money Muscle has a K Dot crush too. I could be
I
wrong about this.
I want to say it's Mason, but I don't know.
I
I'm
didn't
not
know
sure.
if Zoke also had a K Dot crush and he was going to be going against him this week in this league, and maybe K Dot have a big week against him. But anyways, that's all I got on that matchup. Give me the muscle over C Mike.
Next matchup, we have Stahl versus Dino. Give me Dean. Give me Dean this week. Stahl's also starting two tight ends this week. He is starting Xavier Legette. He is starting Hollywood Brown, like which I said, Rasheed Rice going to cut into that. He is starting a Browns player, which is just never a good sign. Yeah, and then kind of low ceiling, low floor Aaron Rodgers. I just think Dean keeps it going.
I thought Chase Brown could benefit from Joe Flacco dump off, but he still only had 8.9 points, two targets, two catches last week. You already named the rest of Stahl's starting lineup. Like it's not good this week. It's not good. Not what you want to be starting. On the other side, Dino, your team is coming on strong. They're trying to help you to the playoffs in year one. I think you take another step in the right direction this week at 4-3. You're going to get to 4-3. And all I'm going to say for now, because one of my bold predictions is about you, and I will touch on that later. Give me homecoming 63 in a rout this week. Big time victory.
Uh, All right, next one we have Mason versus Goonslick. So I have Mason on this one. I think Justin Fields bounces back against Carolina. I think that's actually going to turn out to be a really good game between two shitty teams, just because they are crappy, and so like you'll find a bunch of points out of there. Um, Quinshon Judkins is going to go absolute bananas on the Miami run defense, and then of course he just has players like Justin Jefferson and Brian Thomas that are just going to do things that have been doing him for all year. Mason's just be getting points, and then Goonslick. He's got Cam Scattaboo versus that Denver D. He's already banking on Terry McLaurin coming and not only playing but starting for him. He gets AJ Brown from me this week to play in that spot, but against that good Minnesota defense, and after that, then he's looking. I guess he'll play Wandale too in that other spot, but who's also so he'll double up on Giants. Um, so yeah, and he'll also double up on Philly because he'll have Goddard and AJ Brown. So that kind of cuts into the upside. So yeah, give me Mason.
I would definitely say Mason. I mean, I'm sorry. I would definitely say Goon if Josh Allen was not on bye. Josh Allen being on bye is a killer.
Yeah,
I would have won. I would definitely be on board saying Goon here if Josh
that
Allen wasn't
hurts.
on bye. But you know what? I'm still gonna go Goon. because getting AJ Brown and Wandale, he's going to fill them in the two empty spots. I don't know why, because I shouldn't act like it's going to be any different this week for AJ Brown. But I think somehow Goon wins this week. I don't like the Torrey Horton, Kareem Hunt combination there towards the bottom of Mason's lineup. Like Kareem Hunt, not good unless he falls into the end zone, which could happen, but can't bank on that, I guess. Torrey
Well,
Horton is still too. Torrey Horton, I mean, he could though against Vegas. Like,
I would think that he's going to use his $65 million man and Xavier Hutchinson for one of those spots. You would think.
I don't know. I don't know if that's an upgrade.
Well,
You would think after spending $65, I'm not sure that's an upgrade. But Torrey Horton is still too inconsistent. He's got potential. He's still too inconsistent.
all
Justin
right.
Fields, you never know what you're going to get. Like Carolina is a good matchup for him, so he probably will go off. But I just think when Goon plugs in his two new additions, his lineup, I think he's going to do just enough to squeak by Mason this week. Give me the scat pack. Give me the
Scat Pack.
scat pack in the narrow one.
Sweet. Well, that does it for all our matchups. Good luck, everybody. Let's have a safe and wonderful week 7. Yeah, let's what do you think? We have 8 minutes about to do some bold predictions.
Yeah, let's recap last week's bold predictions real quick. That way we
Okay,
hold ourselves accountable.
let's see. So we did oh God.
What were yours? Go with yours, or do you want me to say mine first? I'll say mine first. I'll touch on the one that I hit on. Brian Thomas Jr. did have a great week for Mason. I think I talked about this in already earlier. So he had a great week. It wasn't enough for Mason to win, but he did have a great week. He went off. He actually had a 50-yard touchdown called back. Otherwise, he would have been within about 34-ish points, I think, instead of 23 or whatever he had. So Brian Thomas Jr. did go off. And the one that I missed on was the Thursday night football prediction of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith going off, scoring a touchdown each, and having 25 points each. To be fair, Devontae Smith would have had 25 exactly had Jalen Hurts not overthrown him on the deep ball. But it is what it is. AJ Brown did get a ton of targets. I was not anywhere close with their final stats. Can't go off of ifs, so I can't claim too much to that because I did miss based on their final stats. So I hit on Brian Thomas Jr. I missed on the Eagles wide receivers. Go ahead.
So I missed on my Thursday night first TD of the game prediction in Devontae Smith. It was a 20-yard scamper for Jackson Dart, which I don't think anybody saw the Giants doing anything. That whole game was weird, so I missed on that one.
Probably the
Uh,
princess. The princess probably had that one predicted.
Probably.
Starting old
I
Dart.
I also predicted Josh Jacobs to finish week number one running backs with 3 touchdowns. He only got 2 touchdowns and finished number 3 on the week in running back. So
That was pretty
like
good. That was a pretty good call,
almost,
though. That was a pretty good call.
almost,
He had a good week.
almost. It did.
He
He had a
really
good
should have had a third touchdown because they were driving late in the game with the lead, and instead of running it, they decided to go play action and snuck Tucker Craft into the end zone when probably should have been Josh Jacobs' third touchdown. So you definitely called that with Josh Jacobs. That was a good call.
cool. Let's do some. Let's do a new set. What do you got for one?
Well, I'm going to go with my one that I've been talking about, and then I'm going to let you talk so I can think of a second one because I'm a little underprepared like always. Dino, Dino Homecoming 63 is going to blow out stall this week. Dino will be the high point man this week in this league, and he will put up around 155 ish, 155 to 160, somewhere in that range. he will be the high point team this week. I think, like you said about Saquon, I'm not panicking about Saquon yet, so I think he has a big week. Josh Jacobs has another big week. The Rams stack, I think, early Sunday morning. Most of the Sunday morning games are ugly. I think we might have the Rams with the Puka. Who knows what's going on with Puka? I think Matthew Stafford targets the crap out of Devontae Adams. So that stack lights it up. Debo with Terry, scary Terry, first coming back from injury. Who knows how that's going to go? Debo is going to light up Dallas because Dallas defense is terrible. Trey McBride will be playing catch up against Green Bay, so Trey McBride is going to score a lot. And then, Sam Darnold's been putting up points. So I think just across the board, you got a good week coming your way. You've got a lot of good players, a lot of good matchups, and you are going to put up 155, 160, which I will be then paying you $25 because you'll be the high point man this week.
For sake of time, I won't go that far in depth, but I actually had the kind of the same bold prediction, except I am having Money Muscle the Zokemeister as the high point man this week. And not only that, but he will break the previously owned record holder of Pigskin Princess and get to that 180 point mark. I don't know why. I just
Ooh,
looked at his, and I think that he's going to get there. He's going to get 180. He's going to be the new record holder, and that's all I got for that one.
all right. So one of us could be right, or neither one of us could be right. I guess we both could be right if, well, we can't both fully be right. But
Yeah.
if Zoke scored over 180 and Dino put up 155 to 160, but Dino would not be the top guy then, obviously. But anyways, good
Mhm.
weeks coming for both of those guys, I think, regardless, because I think they both win their matchups and put up points. You got any more?
Yeah. So Puka Nacua is out, or he should be out. I'm gonna say that he's out, and I'm not sure who it's gonna be, but either Jordan Whittington or Tutu Atwell is gonna have a 70-yard touchdown bomb this week. Not sure which one, but one of them will have that.
Say that one more time. You cut out. I heard part of it.
Jordan Whittington or Tutu Atwell, not sure which one, will have a 70-yard touchdown bomb this week with Puka out.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily give a specific one. I usually touch on Thursday night football. You got to give your Thursday night football first touchdown. We got 2 minutes left.
So yeah, I'll make it
But
easy.
before, I'm not going to go into too much detail for tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night's game is ugly. Like I know the Steelers defense should be able to contain the Bengals offense for the most part. I think obviously you have to start Jamar Chase after the past couple of weeks, but and I think he could have a decent week. But I don't know on the Bengals side of the ball if many of them produce numbers. The Steelers, like the Bengals defense is terrible, but I just don't know. I don't see many good numbers coming up tomorrow. I think tomorrow night there's going to be if you're starting guys from tomorrow night, I think you're going to be disappointed with the numbers they put up. I don't have anybody really start. I don't have anybody starting tomorrow, so I'm hoping that's true because that'll be a good start for my week. I don't want a lot of points tomorrow, so I think that could be true. You got 1 minute. The rest of the time is yours.
Well, I don't really need a minute. Tomorrow, the first touchdown of the game will belong to Jalen Warren for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it will come, let's make it even more bold, on an 8-yard reception. Um, that will be how he gets in the end zone to start the game, which sucks because, like you said, it probably won't be a very high scoring game. So he will take my touchdown away from DK Metcalf. Hopefully, the Pittsburgh Steelers have 14 points in them and DK can get the other one, but it will be Jalen Warren.
I'm going to go really bold. Darnell Washington scores the first touchdown tomorrow night.
I like it. I picked him up and then I dropped him again because I can't have two Steelers with underneath Aaron
Fair enough.
Rodgers on one team. So, but dude, that dude came out of he's I know they love him, but he had all the receptions this past week for the tight
Oh
end
yeah,
position. So, all right, well,
we got to
guys,
go.
thanks